Dave, I'll tell you what, seen a lot of football. Not sure I've seen anything like we witnessed on Saturday night with the Bears somehow.
Wow.
And I mean, it's the Packers also struggling at the end, but the Bears somehow winning a game that you really thought was long gone, frankly, down 10 with 2 minutes left.
Yes, absolutely. But, you know, if everyone says that to me, and I agree. I mean, you got to have some of that stars aligned, whatever you want to call it. But I would say this, you know, this is what, the sixth time that they came from behind in the fourth quarter, you know, last couple of minutes to win. And the mindset of this team, you know, you almost have to be up 2 scores or something. You know what I mean? Because these guys, they've been there before. These coaches have been there before. And when everybody talks about they don't panic, they really don't. I mean, this is kind of half the games they've played this year, guys, have been just like the damn Green Bay game. I mean, and you know, good things happen. I can remember Chuck Noll, the old Steeler coach, used to always say, one of his famous lines was, if you're given fanatical effort and really playing hard, good things seem to happen to you. And you talk about we get the fumble, yes, but then we recover it. You know, I mean, you know, things, the onside kick, you know, just things happen during the course of the game that I don't know. I mean, it was a mind boggler, but it was a pleasure to sit back and just watch it.
What was the most unlikely thing that happened from your perspective?
Well, I would say probably the onside kick.
Yeah.
I would say
only 3 out of 50 times in the NFL this year have there been a successful onside kick,
and the ball bounced to their best receiver. You know, he led him in reception, 7 receptions, and you know the thing about that. While we're on that, you know, obviously Santo was awesome. Think about his 3 field goals over 40 yards, guys, in those conditions. But people ask me all the time, well, that's just an onside kick. It just doesn't happen. Let me. What has to happen if you're the kicker? You got to, number one, make sure you don't kick it out of bounds. I've had kickers. We see it every week. They're kicking an onside kick and they kick the damn thing out of bounds.
Yeah.
And that the other team gets the ball, or it doesn't go 10 yards. Right? They miss it and it goes short. So the number one thing for a kicker is you got to get the ball to the receiving team. And you know, and the mistake, and it's easy for me to sit here and say, but I mean, when you get a ball that hits the ground like that,
yes,
the only way to field it is you got to go get it. You guys are both baseball players, and if you're playing shortstop and the ball is a bouncer, you know, it hits the ground, and you wait on it, you have no idea how that ball is going to bounce on the second bounce. So if you get a chopper like it was, the way we would coach it is I would say, go get that ball.
Yes.
Because don't take a chance of it going up in the air over your head or who knows.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened. He sat there and waited on it, and then it kind of bounced a little higher than he thought, and here we go.
It ate him up.
Here we go.
How he got that thing to squibble the way it did. I mean, the ball is oblong.
Practice.
It's going to bounce.
Practice.
But that was an extraordinary kick. Because exactly what you're saying. It kind of hit and bounced on him right before it got to him, and it went right, you know, his hands. He wasn't ready for it. They ate him up.
So that's probably the most unlikely of the things that happen. But still, 4th and 4, you're on the 6-yard line.
Coach.
You throw the ball to an undrafted rookie free agent wide receiver and hope that he will come down with the catch.
Unbelievable.
Hold on to the ball.
It truly is.
And win the game.
Yeah,
or send the game into overtime.
You got to get the ball thrown. You got to get it obviously caught. I mean, everyone, you know, those things, we'll see that all the time. How many times have we seen Caleb throw the ball 5 yards over the receiver's head in the end zone? No, seriously. You know, I mean, every quarterback. Well, we saw that last night 3 times, throwing over a guy's head. I mean, those things happen in those pressure situations, and great throw by Caleb and our man Walker. God, everybody was reaching for their depth charts, you know, when he caught that ball. I think even the Packers, you know.
This segment with Dave Wannstedt is sponsored by ChicagoRoofingContractors.org, providing all-weather protection for your business. He talked yesterday. Ja'Day Walker, and he told a story. We know Caleb mentioned that before he moved into his crib, as the kids would say, that he let him stay in his house. So he stayed with Caleb for a while. And then Walker talked about he was coming out of one of the games that he didn't play in. He wasn't active for a game. He's driving home, and he gets a phone call from Caleb saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" He couldn't remember what game it was. He's like, "Meet me at the bubble, and we should, run a couple routes. We'll play." And he said that after the game, they met on a Sunday night. And they spent 3 or 4 hours going over different routes, and Caleb was working on different stuff. So they have a relationship, and he knows the guy, and he's worked with. I thought number one, it was a very interesting story about the quarterback working after a game,
the work ethic,
and trying to make sure he's doing something right. The other thing is, he wasn't afraid to throw the ball.
He trusted him
because they have a relationship.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, because you have DJ Moore and you have Colson, in my opinion, the two best receivers on the other side. Yeah. And Caleb didn't even look to that side.
It's unbelievable. And Dave, don't forget to take that bottle with you, because you left it here and we nearly tore it open the next morning.
I left it. Well, I figured that the Bears would win, and I left it there for Olin and Manley.
They were at home.
Oh, okay.
But that was kind of you. I'll take it and deliver it to them.
Yeah.
Dave, we were talking at the break just how remarkable. Is that an overstatement? Remarkable this season has been when you look at some of the players they're counting on, who at the beginning of the season you never would have thought you would need a big performance from Nashawn Wright, or need Ja'Day Walker, or need Kyle Monangai, or need to lean on the offensive line that was put together. This collection of players on this roster, you have to give Ryan Poles a lot of credit. He came back under a lot of scrutiny, and this roster is a big reason why they have 11 victories right now.
100%. And the old and we don't know what these guys did in training camp on a daily basis, but keep in mind that the coaching staff and the personnel people, Ryan Poles and his whole crew, they are evaluating these kids every day. Okay, the down the line guys that are uncertainty, the late draft picks, the free agents, and by that I mean they're watching how they practice. Are they making mental mistakes? Are they studying their playbook at night so you can trust them to want to get on the field? What's their attitude like in the locker room? I mean, they're guys that are they upbeat guys? So these down the line guys get scrutinized and get evaluated a heck of a lot more and a heck of a lot closer than what your top of the line guys are. Now, with that being said, the old draft saying, you've heard me say it, talent sets the floor, character sets the ceiling. And in this case, I'm talking about the ceiling of making the team.
Yes.
So, this kid can catch. He comes out in A&M. He's made some plays. We see talent. Let's sign him as a free agent. This would be the conversation. Let's get him in here. Oh, now he gets in there. Now we start evaluating. Receiver coach comes to him, and Randall L. comes and says, boy, this guy does this. And, he was in early. This guy stayed afterwards, just asked me. All of a sudden, this guy might have a little something to him.
Right.
In addition to the talent. And that's what moves guys up. I mean, you watch that first interview, and I knew about Kyle Monangai because of my relationship with Shiano and Rutgers.
Yes.
And being up at their practices in the summer and stuff. But without knowing that, listening to his first interview, if you're just a Bears fan, you're saying to yourself, wow, you know what? This kid's pretty mature. He gets it. There's something about him that I like. I don't even know what he's going to do with the football, but I like this guy. I kind of want him on my team, And anyway, so I think the point is that the Bears have done a great job, to your point, David, from Ryan Poles and the coaching staff on a daily basis to get these kids on the team and get them to where they trust them to do something.
The other thing, you don't get credited if you're Ryan Poles for cutting players, but he cut a third-round pick in Zach Pickens. He cut Tyler Scott. And I get it. You're now dealing with a new coaching staff. They have different ideas about it. But that's got to hurt as a talent evaluator to cut players you drafted in order to get other players on the roster that the coaches like.
Yeah.
Who was the guy we traded for, the big receiver for Pittsburgh? Gave up a second-round pick.
Chase Claypool.
He was here 6 months.
You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
and Ryan Poles has learned from some mistakes in overdrafting or overpaying for guys who don't fit maybe a certain profile. I also think, Dave, and you could probably speak to this as well. We talk about it. It's an ongoing conversation. But this coaching staff, what they have done, everyone talks about, why is there such a buy-in? And when players just want coaches who are going to make them better, help them succeed, put them in positions to make plays and then make money, let's face it.
Sure.
This coaching staff, I think, once these players started to see, well, geez, that play really is open on this, and when we get this defense, or gee, when we get this formation, they really do run that play. That started to build early in the season, and I think that when you have the players seeing that this coaching staff knows what they're doing and starts to trust them, you're seeing the results now of all of that, just the compilation and accumulation of that trust.
Absolutely. There's no question that, if a player feels that you can make him better, which ultimately extends his career. Mm-hmm. And if you extend a player's career, he's going to make more money. I mean, that's in the big context of thing. That's what you're saying, David. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. Okay, I'm going to be a better player. Boy, if I'm a better player, I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to get another contract.
Another great example of it is a guy like DJ Moore, who comes out. Now, here's a guy that has played with a lot of different quarterbacks. He's been in Carolina, the Bears get him. He still hasn't won yet in the NFL, and he's not he's not as featured as you imagine he should have been on this team. And you're wondering what's going on with him and the quarterback. Is there something going on? And how are they not throwing the ball to him? And he just never complains, never gets worked up. He keeps doing what he does. Yep. All of a sudden, there's no one else left standing, and he's getting the ball all the time. Scores a couple touchdowns, comes back, has another, great game, almost 100 yards, has the touchdown reception at the end, and he then says some nasty stuff about Green Bay in the national interview. He goes into the locker room, gets a game ball. He's wearing a cheese grater. And then he comes to the podium and he says something like, Virginia's looking down on us and Ben is kicking our ass. I got to tell you, there is not a Bear fan out there that doesn't want to see all that stuff.
And in one day, he changed the entire conversation off-season about DJ Moore's future.
Absolutely, without question.
Great points. No, that's you're right. When I heard the Virginia comment, I'm thinking this guy covers a lot of ground.
He's the best.
I mean,
he got it all.
He's a savvy.
He hit it out of the park.
He's a smart guy. Because it's funny that he catches that pass, and it's such a long pass because 3 or 4 plays before that, they're in a 2-minute drill, and on the TV, if you remember the copy, who was doing the Brady?
Tom.
But with Brady, who's doing the play?
Kevin Burkhardt.
Kevin Burkhardt says, DJ Moore looks like he's tired, and Tom's comment is, in this situation, you can't be tired. Yeah. That was his comment. Yeah. In other words, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
If I'm your quarterback, I need you right now.
Right.
And he comes back 2 plays later and runs 60 yards for the
unbelievable.
Tom Brady had a good night too in the booth.
I
thought his
analysis
really matched the moment, and I felt like he's
gotten so much.
It's as good as I've heard him.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, he
watching it again.
He was on point with the Bears. I mean, he knew the guys, and you could tell that he was.
We've seen him now a couple times.
Yeah, he was prepped up. I think that had a lot to do with it. I think that had a lot to do with the familiarity as far as what the players and what Ben wants to do and so forth. So,
but to beat the Packers at Soldier Field, the fans chanting all that. Caleb runs around he does a ring around the field, high-fiving everybody. He's another guy that said everything absolutely correct. They had the moment in the locker room where Ben Johnson says, "I'm not giving you a game ball, but I love you," and they fist bump. Then he's at the podium. I got the best coach in the world. We got the best coach.
Oh, yeah.
You know, come on. I mean, if you're not happy with the portrayal of the organization, you're never going to be happy.
And we've been clean. Think about our guys. I mean,
Yes.
with all the, usually some crazy things happen, and I'm referring back to some of the crazy teams I've been on. When you're having this kind of success, coaches and players have a tendency to, think that that they've arrived and they can get in some trouble. And our guys have been clean, man. They've been awesome. I mean, I saw that special with DJ. You're talking about him last night, giving out toys to the Boys and Girls Club.
They're very
stuff.
community conscious as well, because Sunday after the biggest victory at Soldier Field in years, Caleb Williams is out there giving out. He's volunteering his time. Along with it just really has been one of those kind of seasons, Dave. And you wonder now. Ben Johnson talked yesterday about goals, and we both kind of noticed that, well, he's talking about winning the division. That's great. Then he's talking about being the number 1 overall seed, and that's a lofty goal. He didn't mention Super Bowl. And I wonder if this is if that was intentional, or as a coach, how careful are you, even after a season like this and where this is headed, to be conscious of how you talk to your team about your goals?
100%. The first Super Bowl in Dallas, we never mentioned. All we wanted to do, we didn't mention playoffs. We didn't mention Super Bowl. Troy Aikman, I tell this story, and he would probably deny it, but I'm standing behind him, and we beat the Eagles. Now think about this, guys. We beat the Eagles at home to go and play San Francisco for the NFC Championship game. And Troy turns to Michael or somebody and says, "You mean that if we beat San Francisco next week, we go to the Super Bowl?"
Is that unbelievable?
And and the thought hit us, and we talked about it, and Jim, we all talked about it, and it was just next game. What do we got to do as coaches? And the players were young. Now we had a young team. Bears are young. When you got young players, that's almost out of their mindset. They're trying just to get better, and they got another game, and they're trying to compete. And so I like where Ben's at. Just keep that, please. Let's just try to beat San Francisco, and then who knows what's meaningful and what's not.
Did you watch the Niners last night?
I did.
Didn't they look like very dangerous?
They I mean, I don't know if I got
Purdy 5 touchdown throws.
Coach, they haven't punted since November, Mom.
Yes.
But
they could make the punter inactive and not worry.
Yeah, they showed him on the sideline, and somebody made.
Wow.
But no, I mean, you talk about Ben, Coach of the Year, and all these Coach of the Years. Kyle Shanahan, I think I read where the Niners have 11 players on injured reserve. I mean, Kyle Shanahan's doing a phenomenal job. And he always has, really, but...
Tell that to Dustin.
Between that and Notre Dame, what? He's miserable, or he likes it?
He said he quit college football yesterday because
Notre Dame's not playing USC anymore.
Oh, sure.
Well, they're taking a break.
Well, don't look on social media at some of those... It didn't take the U long to get back to the old days, boy. You see that locker room on social media? Their comments at Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Woo!
Yeah,
not good.
The good old days, right?
Yeah, back to the convicts and Catholics. Here we come. Didn't take long.
Is San Francisco beatable,
you were both,
though?
Dave.
Oh yeah. You know what, Purdy. How can I say this?
How would you attack Brock Purdy? Because you know what? He's a master getting rid of the ball quickly. He is perfect for that offense because he definitely makes the right decisions and he makes them quickly.
Yeah, I think this. Watching that game last night, he throws an interception with 5 minutes to go in the game, and they're up by a touchdown or 10 or whatever it was, okay? Yes. And I thought to myself, number one, Kyle Shanahan, why are you throwing the ball? And number two,
they're up 2 touchdowns with about 4.5 minutes left.
Yes, okay. And I said, and then I thought to myself, Purdy, Tom Brady's not throwing that interception. He's throwing the ball out of bounds. Because it wasn't a clean throw. It was not a clean throw.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing when I think of them is that this guy makes mistakes. To me, it's all about Christian McCaffrey. I mean, it's McCaffrey's, his rushing yards and his receiving yards. I mean, he's
such a weapon.
Yeah. He's the guy, and
he plays 82% of the snaps.
Does he really?
The only other running back that plays more than him is Jonathan Taylor.
Seriously?
Yes, that was the stat they had last night. And if he plays 80% of the snaps against the Bears are in trouble.
Yeah,
because he's just, I don't understand how he can get so many tough yards at that size. And then as a receiver with his matchups, he's almost impossible to defend.
Dave, as far as the Bears defense is concerned, explain why they went to almost bye week level run defense. They got absolutely steamrolled.
192.
Well,
192. But they didn't let them score touchdowns.
Thank you. I'll tell you exactly why.
Because they were playing deep and they let them run.
And that's a slow death. Now, if they score touchdowns in the red zone, then the game plan didn't work.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, if I'm the head coach and I call Dennis Allen and say, "What are you thinking?" or he asked me, "What are you thinking?" I'm going to say, "I ain't giving these guys two 40-yard touchdown passes.
Right.
I don't give a damn what we got to do. That ain't happening."
Right. 9 plays, 14 plays, 16 plays, 9 plays, 10 plays. These are all the drives that the Packers put together.
Guys,
but some of those were 15-yard penalties in the middle of them.
True.
That's okay because you're playing the odds that they're going to screw something up along the way, or your defense is going to make a play.
And they stopped them in the red zone.
And if they can do that.
Not just the red zone, in the bottom 10 yards.
Yeah, and if they can do that and score and beat you, then they beat you. But nothing is more crippling than giving up two 40-yard bombs. Boom, boom, it's over.
Boom, yeah, that's true.
The goal of defense is to hold a team to 17 points. They held them to 16 points.
Right.
With that strategy. So, I mean.
It worked.
Yeah. But the time of possession and
38 minutes, 57 seconds. So 39 minutes they possessed the ball.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And when you look at what they did in the first half, that's how they got out in front. And it seemed like the game should have been more lopsided score-wise than it was. They were controlling the line of scrimmage with a backup right tackle, backup running back, backup quarterback.
No, 0 for 5 in the red zone, guys, sums it up. I mean, they had five opportunities to score touchdowns and don't score any. That's you're going to win a lot of games doing that. And I've been on both sides of that, where all of a sudden you're forcing them to kick field goals, and and you're saying to yourself, "That's okay,"
Yeah.
As brutal as those two drives were, we're down 6-0. We throw one up for grabs in the end zone, and we win the game. You know, so kicking field goals is huge in a big game like it was.
And the other thing that we were kind of talking about is, everything worked out for the Bears. In other words, the very fact that they couldn't kick the field goal till less than 2 minutes remained meant that they had to do the onside kick, which it worked, and it was a fluke, because those are flukes. But they had to do it. If they didn't have to do it, they might have given them the ball back, and they might have run the ball down their throat.
If that referee doesn't stand over the ball for an extra 10 or 15 seconds, they may have kicked off, and they might not have been able to stop the Packers.
Exactly. It's incredible how everything kind of went in their favor.
That's okay. Yeah, right. Let's. I'm kind of on to San Francisco. I'm trying not to think about it anymore.
Yeah, no, that's a wise move. Yeah, don't remember what happened earlier.
Just take the win
and run. Take the win and move on. And the San Francisco, it's a long way to go, but you think about it, the Bears played on Saturday night, and these guys played Monday night.
Absolutely. That's 2 days, day and a half, no, so it's a good opportunity. Then we kind of see what happens. Green Bay plays Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll know where their status is.
You could win the division by the time you kick off Sunday night.
Is that right?
You could be the division champion.
Yes, you could. Yeah.
Because if Green Bay loses, the magic number is 1.
Don't the Eagles? Isn't there something else that has to happen?
Not for the division title. For seeding,
to lock them into the 2 seed. They may be the division champion, locked in at the 2 seed before they play Detroit.
It's conceivable if the Packers lose and the Eagles lose, you could be locked into number 2 and be the division champ going into San Francisco.
Would you rest your guys then in that situation?
No, I mean you're still going for the win at all, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, they wouldn't.
If you before you go into San Francisco, yes,
Yes.
you still have a chance of number 1 seed.
Yes.
I think what Mully's saying is that if you lose to the 49ers and the Eagles and the Packers also lose, how would you treat Week 18?
yes.
That's next week's conversation.
I wouldn't take a chance of getting Caleb hurt. I probably would.
See? Yeah.
I would probably play if we were locked into that
a good
seed.
answer.
I would probably play my backup Bajan and get him some work. And I don't know anybody
Got
else.
the bubble wrap.
You can't afford to lose Bajan. Play Case Keenum.
Yeah, or there.
I'm joking.
No, but that Caleb would be the guy that I would
Right.
that I would look to, and I don't know who else. I mean, if these young receivers come back, maybe DJ Moore gets a little bit of a break. I don't know. We'll wait and see.